dig back more into your origin story and talk about what it was like to train in isolation. What were the things that you did that were unique that created opportunities for you to create a better understanding of all the outcomes and be in the right place at the right time when other people didn't know to be in the right place at the right time? What were some of those things that you did that were unique to training?
I used to actually love playing outside, and I used to love hitting tennis balls against the garage door and, you know, playing all kinds of different games, which I kind of experimented with. As a result of that, I created really good core skills for myself, which I believe is the basis for any performer. If your core skills are really good, and core skills, I don't only mean the technical skill, I mean the visual skill of that as well. Train it in a specific way, you not only improve your visual skills, but you also improve your motor skills. I had a lot of time on my hands. I did a lot of that. We didn't even see international sport because we weren't allowed access to any of that. As you say, you had an imagination, and I thought I knew how good the players were that I was going to compete against one day. And I just made sure I was good enough to handle anything that got thrown at me. And I didn't train because I was obsessive or anything. I really loved doing it, and I really found it a challenge. It was in me, you know, part of my DNA almost.
Was there anything sort of strangely unique or odd that you did?
No, I just used whatever was I had access to, you know.
Well, some might call that uniquely odd, that you used whatever you had access to, because people go the other way. They have everything perfectly programmed, they believe. Yeah. They're actually missing out on some skills, perhaps. All right. As you've gone through the research, what are some of the most significant paradigm shifts that you've had to go through? You know, now realize that something is now true that you previously thought was false, or vice versa?
I think the important thing, and that came out in part of my research, initially I tested different sports, and from extremes like football and table tennis, presumed that a table tennis player was quicker than a football player. We call it rugby in South Africa, rugby union, a different kind of sport to American football, but it's a lot bulkier players, not as quick as table tennis. And just as an example, I presumed before I did my study that a table tennis player's reactions were going to be way better than that of a big bulky rugby player. And then I realized, no, it isn't like that. So, and then I tested the different positions, and I presumed that a goalkeeper in soccer would be better, or in hockey, I did soccer and hockey, would be much quicker than a defender, for example, whose game is totally different. And then I realized that it isn't like that. So I tested positions, I tested sports, I tested the individual, and then realized, and that's the basis of my work has been built on the fact that you need to train the individual, find out what his strengths and weaknesses are, and then build it up from there. And not make any presumptions that because I play in this position or this sport, or I did this, that these skills are up to standard.